Welcome to Barish Sangwad on SARNET YouTube in 2025. I'm Danushi. So today we have an eminent and a distinguished panel of speakers, women leaders from the water sector from across South Asia. They are here to support the World Water Day theme, Accelerate Action, to positively impact the advancement of women economically, socially, and eliminate gender disparity. So I wonder whether you agree that to do all this, we at least need to have the basics, such as access to safe water in close proximity for women. So talking about this, women play a critical role in influencing water usage and conservation among households and in their communities, and that women leaders have taken steps to positively impact women's advancement. At some point, they are the voices that speak about the difficulties that women face due to lack of access to safe water. In another instance, they may be doing research on their own and sharing the findings, or they could be working together with other women to share knowledge and encourage women to find solutions and empower them. Today, we are meeting few such change makers from across South Asia. While their encounters with water woes of women will touch you deeply, I assure you their trials and trails to bring about positive changes by improving access to safe water and strengthening women will inspire you for action. So let's see who they are. We have Dr. Tanuja Aryananda from Lanka Rainwater Harvesting Forum, Dr. Indira Kurana, and Ms. Pradna Thakur and Ms. Soni Pun from Nepal. I believe they will, for the viewers, I want to tell them, like the viewers would like to know about them. So I invite Dr. Tanuja to go first and tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Dhanushi. I want to everybody. I am Tanuja Arinanda. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Lanka Rainwater Harvesting Forum. Basically, my profession has been on aquatic resource management, but I have been promoting rainwater harvesting for domestic use in Sri Lanka for the last 27 years. So we have a forum which promotes this activity within households, within schools, within health centers, and also train various actors who are engaged in this from household level to professional level. We also have networking within the nation, within Sri Lanka, as well as beyond through this South Asian region, as well as the international arena, as well as we have we do conduct some research as well on this aspect. So briefly, this is about me and our organization. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Tanuja. So over to Dr. Indira Kurana from India.
Hello and good morning to all. My name is Indira Kurana and I'm speaking to you all from Delhi, India. And a big heartfelt thank you to Dhanushi for having me on this panel today. I'm actually a biotechnologist by my education, but have been working on water-related issues for almost 30 years now. And my focus area has been in the various organizations that I work with has been on training, on awareness raising, networking, research, and advocacy. And because of the topic today, I have been kind of reflecting on how my work has, how I have grown listening to women and listening to people in all these years, and really reflecting on, did I make a difference in their lives through the work that I do. Right now, I am the chairperson of Indian Himalayan River Basin Council, which is a informal network of people working on Himalayan rivers across 12 states of India, just so that we learn from each other and we support each other, and there's strength in people coming together. I'm also chief advisor of Tarun Bharat Sangh, and I'm chairperson of the Khajuraho Nature Conservation Trust, a new trust that we have formed in water scarce region of Madhya Pradesh. So thank you again for this opportunity.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Indira. So over to Pradna, Miss Pradna Thakur again from India, Madhya Pradesh, Pune, Maharashtra from India.
Hello. Yeah, it is good to meet all the women working in this water sector. And really thanks, SARNET, always popping up for a really great initiative uh, uh, related to water. So I'm Pradnya Thakur. I'm from Pune, Maharashtra, India. I'm working last 30 years in environment water sector. And I'm a director of Shashwat Eco Solution Foundation, and also Nirmal Jal Jeevan Mission National Lead for Naredko Mahi. I'm also a member of Indian Water Works Association in India, and I was part of the restructuring of framework of water policy with Government of India, Ministry of Water Conservation. Also in the panel of idle immersion policy by Maharashtra Pollution Control Board. And last this tenure of this journey, I had implemented around 100 plus rainwater harvesting projects and worked in rural and urban sector. So today I'm going to share two case studies related to women. The one which is in urban sector, we work with women in Pune. And second is in the rural area where we work for one village. And how this life, because water is a real challenge and it is linked to women. So it is very much associated with women. So this is what I'm going to share. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pradna. So over to Soni, a youngest women leader here today. Soni?
Yeah, thank you, Dhanushi, and hello everyone. I'm Soni Pun, and I'm currently in the UK. I'm also working as a rainwater expert for Asia and conducting a study on rainwater harvesting index for Asia with the International Rainwater Harvesting Alliance (IRHA). I'm also supporting the Rain Communities project in Nepal. Since 2020, I have worked as a project officer for Pancha Nepal and implemented Rain Communities project and Blue School project in collaboration with IRHA. And previously, I have assisted in various rainwater harvesting studies undertaken by Pancha Nepal and the Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Project in Western Nepal, RWSSPWN. And beyond my project work, I'm an active member of South Asia Rainwater Network-SARNET and also serve on the steering committee member of Young Rainwater Champions YRC SARNET. And I'm also the committee member of the Rainwater Harvesting Management Specialist Group, RWHMSC, at the International Water Association, IW. And thank you for this opportunity, Dhanushi and Tanuja ma'am and SARNET. Thank you.
Thank you to the panel of speakers we have today. So I have actually, I want, like, I'm sure all the viewers would love to learn, to find out more information about your experiences about women and water. So I have one question, and other one is actually about your experiences, your observations. Both questions are observations and it's related to your experiences in the communities that you have been working with. So the first question to all of you is that uh, lack of access to safe water at the doorstep in public places. How does it get expressed by women? How is it observed, or how do women deal with it in their communities that you have worked with? What have been some of your observations? So any one of you can start off on it. How women deal with the lack of access in their at household, lack of access to safe water in their households, and when it comes to public places in the communities. Like, what have been your observations in the communities that you have been working with? Okay, Tanja, yeah.
Yeah. So in Sri Lanka, although it's a water-rich country, we have about 1,800 millimeters of rainfall, and we have lots of 103 rivers and some lots, the lot of reservoirs as well in the dry zone. But there are some pockets where which people don't have access to safe drinking water. In the dry zone, in hilly areas, if there, in hilly areas, there is a lot of rain, but the rain doesn't stay up in the hills. So it comes down. So people have to go down to the bottom of the hill to fetch water, either pump it up or take it by hand. So as we all know, the women who are the sole responsible for the household water needs, that has been for ages throughout Asia, in other countries as well, as we all know. So in that sense, it is women who has to go and fetch water from elsewhere. And in Sri Lanka's experience, we have seen that some women go up to 6 kilometers to get water. So if it's in the dry zone, it is hard terrain, dry terrain, you can imagine the strain they have to go through. Plus, these are especially in the rural areas that there is no direct access to good water. So then they have to dredge these rural roads, and often it is very not inhabited. So they also face a lot of threats from others, animals, humans, who will take advantage of them as well. That is one of the few other things they face. And plus, especially in the hilly areas, when they have to carry water up, coming down the hill with the empty pot of water is fine. Not much of stress. But when you think about how they have to carry water up the hill, it is a strain. It is strain on their backs. It is strain physically. It is a strain. So those are the difficulties people have to face. And especially another instance I can think about is also in the north, where we had over 30 years of civil war. And due to that, we have a lot of women-headed households, widows. The husbands are dead, etc. So those instances also, for the women, the burden of finding labor, finding funds to run their family, as well as finding water for the family, it's added burden for them. So that is another instance I can think about the issues that faced by women. And additionally, also, when there is a disabled person in the house, it is often the women's duty to look after them. Disabled, old people, their parents or whoever. So for them also, you have to know what is needed. If you are an old person or not a sick person. So that also adds the burden of the women on board for the water fetching. So those are very briefly what we have experienced on the issues that faced by women to fetch water.
Thank you, Dr. Tanuja. That is the Sri Lankan context. So, anyone else from either from India or from Nepal to go?
Yeah.
May I go next, Anushik?
Yes. Okay. Then Dr. Indira, yes.
Right. So, like I mentioned, I have been working on vector-related issues for almost 3 decades now. And my strength and my career basically lies in writing, observing ground realities, undertaking detailed research and analysis. And over the years, there is a lot that I have learned from some women that I have worked with, which is, it's like a reinforcing group, which has helped me understand better and then again write in a more nuanced manner and so on. So over the years, I have interacted with women in different ecologies, and we already heard Tanuja speak about the problem that is there faced in hilly areas and in dry areas. I would just like to share a bit more on what I saw discussing with women in the dry areas. Uh, when you've gone and discussed with them and asked them, what is, and especially because in this organization, we're also looking at the issue of water quality. And when we go and talk to the women and say, do you know that you're supposed to drink clean drinking water or parents that have clean drinking water, you could see a desperate anger in their eyes when they would turn around and say, and I don't even have a drop of water to drink, not a single drop of water in my family. How can I even think about talking about water quality? I mean, that would leave us it was so poignant, it would leave us at a loss of words. And when I talk about how water impacts women, I'm also looking at beyond drinking water. So drinking water is one component, but also, do they have access to water for agriculture, for their livelihoods, whether they believe themselves or whether it's the male family members. For drinking water in areas such as Bundelkhand, which is historically close to drought and successive droughts, like 1, 2, 3 years in succession, there will be droughts. I have seen women walking really around the fields, similar to what Tanuja has mentioned. I've seen them they've shown depressions in their head because of the heavy load of water they carry. Back problems they discuss. When they are taking water from a well in somebody else's field, then they say that sometimes, stones are thrown at them. Sometimes they have to listen to what we say in Hindi, na, sarcastic comments. Has your husband made this big drinking water? A lot of lack of dignity and humiliation in that place. And also violence. So this is one form of violence, and then the other kind of violence. And then there is a caste issue in class. Then again, that is another kind of violence that is faced by the women and the young girls, because when there's no water, the young girls accompany their mothers and then they go to school. So I have seen women speaking about how when there is no water and they continuously yank the hand pump, and they say that they have some of them the uterus has collapsed. In some examples, they have been spontaneous abortion because of any steps that they have had to take to get access to drinking water. And a lot of societal ills have come up because of this lack of water. For example, child marriage. Also, examples of their children and their have been sold by the parents because of such a frustration because there is no water. So when there is no water, a lot of the societal increase, and the impact is felt more than this is what I learned from their talking to them and their personal hygiene. We know that women and girls, need more water. And because there is lack of water, then you cannot, during menstruation, they are not able to hygiene. that leads to new infections of various kinds. When we talk of menstrual hygiene and personal hygiene, we all know that women need more water to maintain personal hygiene, and because of the lack of water, they're not able to maintain this hygiene that gives rise to a lot of infections. Also, they face stigma and they face shame because the body odor that comes because they're not able to clean themselves. So when we talk about well-being of women or how a woman is impacted, there are so many different ways, like 360 different angles in the way a woman's life is affected, her health is affected because of lack of water. So these are some of the uh, the topics or the issues that the women discuss with me, and the mental stress. They speak about the mental stress that all the time they are worried as to how they will be able to meet the drinking water and domestic water needs. And because there's lack of water, then they tend to reduce the intake, which again, leads to issues of the health, because water scarcity in the body, when our body is more than 75% water, and if you don't have adequate water, then it affects every organ of your body. So, and then these are intergenerational effects, because if you're pregnant, then your newborn is going to be affected. So this just continues, and this is some of the things that I had learned from the woman. Very, very moving. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for that very informative observations. Yes, Pradna, please go ahead.
Thank you. Actually, I have to share two different scenarios. The one is that urban context. In urban context, the uneven distribution with different community of water is noticed. That is, from elite class, there is a 130 per liter per household water supply. But in low income settlement or slum, if we notice, the water supply is around 50-60 liter uh, per uh, per day, like per person or per household. So that is a mass variation. So we decided to work with the women who do the work of utensil cleaning or household activities like cloth cleaning or housemaid, those working in the various house for providing services. So that was one of our target segment, and that we learned that uh, the houses where they work, uh, it's ample water, but in their own house they have to manage a lot with the water crisis, only once or twice a day, and in 1 hour or 2 hour only the water is coming with a common tap, and they have to the tab is given with the 4 to 5 houses jointly, and they have to get the water and do all their work. So that was one prominent observation. But the utilization in the elite class by women is careless. They don't feel that we need to conserve the water wisely because that is ample water. And the same happened with these women, because they open the tab and close all the utensils, clean all utensils and everything. So that discrepancy in the life affect utilization. But in the same time, if we observe, though the woman has having less water in her house, utilize water more in the workplace. And even some women from good society, the force lady to put the tab on full and use the water because the utensils can get cleaned properly. So that's one discrepancy in urban model. I will like to share one more thing about it. But second discrepancy observed is in a village near to from 120 kilometers from Pune, in Satara district. It is associated near to industries. And see, in this entire zone, means Pune is having 900 millimeter rainfall per annum, and in that place it is 600 millimeter rainfall per annum. So that was a bit water scared area. And one observation was there was only one hand pump available in the village. and it was not that river was nearby. There was dam, good water always in the river, but water is contaminated. And second, water in summer it is difficult because it is completely a hard rock area, so it is difficult to get the water. The tap water also not proper supply to the household, though the physical tap was provided, but the water availability through the tap was a big question mark. And the woman has to walk down a long distance. Majority of families in the villages, the women and men go to the industry for a work as a laborer. So it is become difficult for them to manage the timing, and the woman has to rely on that tap water. So we did the rainwater harvesting there, and that was another impact. But I will share the impact later. And this is where the discrepancies we found, that it is also near to urban pocket, but the village face the crisis and the women face crisis. Third aspect is that uh, there is lack of information about clean water. So that was another challenge we observed when we did the feasibility study of that pocket before we start the project. So in urban slum area, that we need good quality water and what is mean by a good quality water, and what is the impact of bad quality water. So that was a big challenge we observed, that in rural area availability of water in both the sector, in urban lower income settlement and in rural area, getting water or availability of water becomes so challenging that to ensure the quality of water is another task for a woman. And as we always say that she is a manager of water and sanitation and waste in our house. So that was one thing. Second, we uh, always observed that if that in literacy we said that if one woman is literate, the family literate. It is similar way with water, that if water literacy is get to one woman, it will give a literacy to the entire family. And it's related to the health aspect. So that health impact is uh, very much ignored by the woman or not aware. Third observation, that sanitation, as I am also working lot in sanitation sector, the urban case, and when we traveled in different zone, because for work I traveled a lot in rural and urban areas across the country. So that was one observation working with villages, that during travel or in the community or in urban sector, availability of water for toilets is a big challenge, and that affect the quality of hygiene that is maintained there. And for women it is necessary because urine infection can lead to at any extent, and that is a majority challenge in urban pocket, that this lack of water and lack of maintenance of the toilet affects the hygiene of women at large. So these are few observation and challenges because of improper availability of water for women, and it affects the life of women.
Thank you very much, Pradna, again for that different perspective on urban and rural water availability, the lack of information, water literacy, all those aspects. So we will now for Sony. Sony, if you can, you present in 2 minutes, because we will have to rejoin in the same link to discuss the second question. Would you be able to sum up in 2 minutes and then we get into the second question?
Like many years ago, I came across this powerful photo published by water.org that left a lasting impact on me, and it states that women can do anything when they are forced to spend untold hours every day of their lives searching for water. Water is not just a world crisis, it's a women crisis. These words are so true. So most of my like observation and experiences are more common and general, like what Indira ma'am and Parna ma'am earlier explained. So in our communities too in Nepal, women had to like face similar hardship. Like they had to wake up as early as 2-3 a.m. and they had to fear the darkness and had without any torches or lights, they had to go to a fetch or gagri or a vessel of water. Since the landscape of Nepal is like steep hills and all, they had to walk downhill, steep path downhill and reach the spring. They had to wait for collecting water and make the exhausting uphill journey back home. So the risks were immense. Women sometimes reported that they had slipped on the muddy trails during rainy season, or sometimes some incidents were there where they were caught in the forest fires and they had no escape route and all. And some women even had to leave their infants crying behind during the rainy. Yeah, like I said. In search of water, women had to leave their infants behind, and since they had no choice, but just to face the water. And half of their day, like women used to complain, like half of their day used to be spent in water collection, and had to spend the rest of their hours for cooking, cleaning, and washing. So they didn't have enough time to care for themselves or their children. So women also expressed like deep frustration over their inability to properly care for the families since they were trapped in the struggle for water. In the schools, like many girls were forced to miss classes in during the periods due to lack of water in the school toilets, and without access to water, they struggle to maintain like a proper menstrual hygiene. They often complain about the discomfort of bad odor and the inability to use toilet, which severely impacted sanitation and hygiene practices. So these were some of the observations in the community and in the schools due to lack of water. So that's all for the first question. Thank you, Dhanushi.
Right. Thank you very much, Soni, for giving us an update on the situation in Nepal. We have seen the impact of lack of access to water. We have also, like all these leaders, water leaders, women water leaders have also not been quietly observing, but they have also contributed towards addressing to improve the lives of women to access safe water in some way. So let's hear about their experiences about how or what changes were there after the intervention in some way that they were being part of. So what were the changes that you observed being part of an intervention? It could be ground level implementation or ground level intervention, or it could be part of a research, or it could be an advocacy campaign. So any one of you can start first, and then, yeah.
So shall I start again?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so yeah,
Thank
just
you, Dr.
also to share, I'll share some slides as well. Right, so we have been working on rainwater harvesting, especially the roof water harvesting systems. That is to collect it from the roof into a tank. So this has been tremendous value for the women because it is water at the doorstep for women, for the children as well. So these systems, we have about 50,000 of them in Sri Lanka at the moment at household levels. And also we have installed them, as I said earlier, in schools and hospitals as well. So these systems come in different sizes, 5,000 liters or 8,000 liters. And These particular systems are what you see. The pictures are made from ferrocement technology using a chicken mesh and cement and sand mortar with some PVC fittings. So they are clean drinking water that people use, both for drinking as well as for domestic use. So since our climate or our weather pattern is bimodal, like we get 2 seasons of rain each year, they get filled at least twice or more times every year, whether they are in the dry zone or in the wet zone, of course, get filled more often than in the dry zone. So, so these are the things. And additionally, we also promoted training masons or training the people who install. We also got women involved in the training. So you see 2 women actually installing these systems. Usually it's traditionally men's work, but we managed to, in our culture, it is the men's work, I guess. But we also got women interested to install these systems as well. So that has been a great breakthrough. And we have trained these ladies on installation of different type of rainwater harvesting system. Then the impact, if you see, when we ask what is the time they save by having rainwater harvest system at their doorstep, the time duration is range from about one hour to 3-4 hours a day. They save due to having a rainwater system at their doorstep. So when we ask, how do you use that time, the time that they save, and you see the results that about 24% they invest that time for some financial or economic gains. Some go indulge in hobbies, some in leisure, and some in family welfare as well. So, and the other graph also shows the value of that time and how they value it. It is 60% for 2% for family welfare and 28% for financial. So this is again that women get. I mean, family welfare means you spend more time with your children, community, etc. So some of them actually able to support their children in their education as well, look for their homework, check on their homework, and say so. As a result, the whole family gain due to it, and then also they have more time to invest on other things for the family, and also as well as create some income for the families. Many women undertake home gardening, for instance, or sewing or some sort of small income gain through the activities or through the save time they have, but not having to fetch water from outside. So those are a few other things. And also these systems can be maintained by women. So we empower them to maintain the systems as well. So it is, they don't have to wait for somebody else to come and do the repairs or anything. So those since they are also skilled, they can do it. And these are very simple systems to maintain. There's no high tech involved as well. So they are happened in the village itself. So those are the few things I want to share with you all about how it had impact women. And as previously mentioned, of course, hygiene side, because having more water at your doorstep, the use of water for sanitation purposes has increased. It has reduced the incidence of diarrheal diseases or water-borne diseases in the family. And also by having more water for sanitation purpose, girls for menstrual hygiene, etc. More water is available. So those are the few of the impacts that we have experienced, especially for women in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Tanuja, for that informative presentation with pictures. Yeah. So, who will be next?
Can I go next?
Yes, of course. Please do.
Thank you, Tanuja, for sharing the slides. I remember these ferrocement tanks and just brought back so many memories. So, like I said, my efforts have been basically largely around raising awareness. And I've done that through my writing. I've written more than 8 books on water, countless articles in the newspaper, and so on and so forth. So it's very difficult to actually measure this kind of an impact. But what I feel is that I have contributed in a small way towards raising awareness about women's issues and the relationship with water, which has led to an increased understanding, increased sensitivity, and also internalization of how the pains that women go through when there is a lack of water. And I say this because I also hear feedback from various people about this. And I also see this now, these issues being reflected in discussions, in research, in programs, in policy, in vocabularies. So these things, when I see this, I feel that okay, maybe something that I've done is working. The other effort that I have made is that trying to get women's voices into the water dialogues and into water related issues. As we know, it's very difficult to hear the voices of women due to various reasons. And I think when COVID happened, that also somehow I observed that in so many of the webinars and all, it was very difficult to find women. Even in panel discussions, I feel now that you'll have a panel of like 7 men and there'll be one woman who has a chance to speak, given the last chance to speak. So I have made a lot of efforts in the networks and the groups I've engaged in that please let us have the women speak first and let us have more women, particularly women whose life we are talking about, whose life we are saying we are committed to change. So let us hear directly from themselves rather than we being their communicator. So some strides and some change has been made in that. I also, so some of the work that I've done is, I think, when talk to women is also to realize the importance of rainwater conservation and how conserving a raindrop can make a change in their life. Uh, the focus has largely been on using this water for groundwater recharge and for filling in surface water bodies, and also how this relationship between groundwater and surface water. So, uh, convincing women I'm mostly talking about the rural areas. Convincing the women that you need to get talabs made or different water conservation structures made, and several women have come forward. They have donated their land. They actually contribute their labor. They also supervise, the kind of work that is being done. And because other people are also involved, and they also bring food to eat for them and tea for the people working on the water conservation structure. So this increasing in understanding the importance of rainwater harvesting and rainwater conservation in their lives, and the importance of small rivers and streams, because these are really close to them. And when they see that they have made a water conservation structure, how the river has revived, how the water level has come up in their well, then that kind of motivates them. And then when they interact with other women in different villages, so they, this good news kind of spreads, and more women get involved in this. And also, this drinking water tank, there was this project in Nu which was undertaken by Tarun Bharat Sangh, where the women were really suffering due to lack of uh, drinking water. So what was done was that the provision of drinking water tank, a 17,000 liter capacity, with one-third contribution by the household, which amounted to around 10,000 rupees. And a tanker with safe water would come and fill in these tanks. And whenever the tanks, the water level, whenever they needed water, then they would call up the tank. The household members would call up the tanker and then call the tanker and then pay for the water supply. But we did a detailed research on, okay, how did this make a difference in the life of the woman? And it was really astounding when we saw the kind of difference it made in the life. Right from getting okay water you can take 24/7 for drinking and cooking for yourself and your family members, but increase in livelihood. In a way, like how Tanuja mentioned, they had some water so they could rear some goats, rear some buffaloes. They had kitchen gardens, so more food on the table, more nutritious food on the table, so increase in nutrition level, more hygiene. So, they didn't have that social, shame that they were smelling or their houses were dirty. The children could go to school with clean uniforms and after having a bath, because many times they said that how the children had to come back from school because the teacher said that you're looking dirty and stuff like that. Please don't come, go back home and take a bath. 100% of them said that they had freedom from stress. Also, so within a family, they're like joint family. So when there is somebody's using more water, there are these tensions in the home and things like that. So those tensions also declined, which they actually brought out. So what it showed that provision of this tank at a mere 10,000 rupees made such a difference between existing and actually living and having aspirations. Yes, they also wanted to earn livelihood, so they took to tailoring and things like that. So this kind of evidence that we got kind of spurred us to really talk about it, write about it, share about it, and also start a center in Tarun Bharat Sangh for called W3C, which is Water, Women, Wellbeing, and Climate Change. So looking and inviting people to understand, to share, to undertake some research, to how can we deepen this linkage between these four parameters. And no is one area where there was a lot of heat wave last year, and already the women are anemic, and research points that anemic women, the anemia is exacerbated because of the heat wave and because of the high temperature. So there's more increase in the disease. So just a small intervention of providing a drinking water tank at just 10,000 cost to the community. The rest is coming by the through charity, makes such a dramatic change in the life of women, which then triggers a huge a circle of so many other things, and you move up the move up your aspirations, or you move up the ladder of socioeconomic development. So I think this focus on women and really making people understand the different nuances, how it affects women, and how if you help them get access to water, how it affects the family uh, and society at large. I think that has been a learning for me, and plan to continue doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Indira, for those valuable observations. I mean, the actual changes. So we get to see now. You would have seen from different perspectives, from development practitioner perspective, from a researcher. So it's that we are having this program. We are having a lot of wealth of information. So I'm sure the viewers will benefit from all this. So over to our other next speaker to share their observation on the change that they observed.
Really good to hear from Tanuja and Indira ji. So it's really impacted. I just want to share the project which I shared briefly, that challenges we observed from the women who worked at the elite societies for cleaning of utensils, and the water is lost during that process. So it was all the conservation campaign we want to run. But there was one more observation that we thought that how we can uh, put it in front of figure. How to do that means, okay, we do the awareness is one thing, but how to tell women that because of their act how much water they can conserve, and that was big challenge. So we preferred the calculation, and it is really alarming, and it hits to the mind of women, both the residential society, the elite class. There are standard tap size in our house, that is 15 tab. So around 8 to 10 liter of water per minute is flow from the tap. So what we inform the woman that if one woman is working tentatively at 5 household, so we ask them if one woman at one household close the tap for a 10 minute while you cleaning the utensils or closing the cloth, just for a 10 minute. So how it 100 liter per day per house, she can save the water. We reached during that campaign for 1,000 women. And so, and again, if she worked at the 6 houses, then 600 liter per day she can conserve by just closing the tap at every house. So one woman can save that. So we reached 2,000 potential of conserving water. So it's not that more on behavior side, that how you do it through your actions. And that was really accepted by women. So that was really challenge that faced that um, if our action and that's really accepted by the community. So a lot of options of how and that water can be used in the garden, and many ideas pop up from the women that how they can do it. It was not just one awareness session. We set up 2 to 3 monitoring sessions later on with the same community or residential societies. So, and we observed that many of the women, around 50 to 60% women follow it or reduce the tap size. It was not fully open up. So that was one campaign, and which resulted in a good sense and to reach to the thousand of women in the Pune city at slum area and at residential society. So that is one observation. Second is at the village level, there the hand pump was available. Only one hand pump was available in the village for getting the water, which was in school premises. So we did the rainwater harvesting of the school. We also constructed the toilet for the school, but the challenge was how to get the water for cleaning of the toilet. So rainwater harvesting of that borewell resulted into availability of water. So instead of hand pump, we provided the separate tap. We provided above the toilet good water storage capacity. So women in the village can get the water from the tap. At the toilet also of the school also get cleaned. Also there was water filter provided to get the water. There are also in the village, for village the pay and use basis water filter is provided. So 20 liter of water ATM we called. So 20 liter 20 liter of water in a 4 or 5 rupees. So that was installed. So ensuring safe water, ensuring at school, ensuring at villages. And also there was a lot of community program take place in that village in the same ground. So 2 toilets has been constructed for that community during the community program, so village can use it. So that one act has provided the sufficient usage of water for the community. So this is where the impact we observed. The women get flexibility to get the water. It is not the restricted time. It is reduces the effort of doing the hand pump. And again the question of availability of water. So these two results are that some sensitization within the community take place to conservation of water. We always say that reuse or recharging is second step. First, how I act, it is owner's responsibility our responsibility towards water, how we can behave. And that was addressed to the women through our program. And we link it to the health component. So less drinking water, how affect uh, not treated water, what is the quality of water, how it affect to your health and your children and family health. So this was all the literacy program we run till for 1,000 women. That is from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Pradna. Pradna brings a different aspect about women in urban areas. So low income and high income societies, water literacy. Okay, so we'll discuss about it depending on time. Like there is so much coming out in our discussion today. Thank you, Pradha, again. So, Sony, yeah.
After the implementation, we have been implementing a rain communities project in like the hilly areas of Nepal. So we have almost more than 10 rain communities implemented in these hills. So as with the implementation of the rainwater harvesting project in these water scarce community, there are many significant changes in these communities, and most notably, like women now experience immense relief as they no longer have to spend several hours in fetching water. Safe water is now easily available at home, and also as a part of the Rain Communities project, like several old rainwater harvesting systems were repaired and maintenance. And one of the very inspiring example we have from the rain community is the story of the rain lady. Her name is Ratan Kumari Gurung, and she has relied solely on the rainwater for over 20 years, and she has never visited the spring source after its construction. And like her story has been really inspiring, and we widely share her story to inspire other communities to embrace rainwater harvesting. And one of the key benefits we have observed is that the construction of the rainwater harvesting systems in their households. So this is like a traditional spring source in Nepal. So women often use these vessels to fill their gagri or the pot. So it's mainly unprotected spring source, and there is like chances of water being contaminated, and as a part of rain communities, we are also rehabilitating or improving these spring sources. Talking about the benefits, with the establishment or installation of the rainwater harvesting systems in the household, now women have easy access to water, and with water availability at home at the premises, they have now more time to take care of their children and also engage in the kitchen gardening. And also through this rain communities project, we provided some of the household with the poly houses, and they grow vegetables, they consume it for themselves and their families, and the surplus vegetables they sell in the local markets and generate some additional income for the families. And also, we are implementing the Blue School project, which is also a rainwater harvesting project in the schools. So this has also transformed the school environment, like by having access to water and sanitation. And children are no longer to carry water or worry about water shortages in school. So the school environment has drastically improved. Like toilets are now clean and odor free, and students can regularly practice like hand washing, and even girls' attendance in school has increased. So additionally, we have added like menstrual hygiene education in our WAS training, which further helps to improve the health and well-being of female students. So this was the photo that I that I compiled like in the International Women's Day 2022, it all shows like women and their hardship and how like implementation of rainwater harvesting project is their life. Like on the photos above, you can see the difficulties faced by women, and in the next like row of the photos, you can see like the happy women with their rainwater harvesting system. So that's these are all the initiatives we are working in Nepal to address the water scarcity, and by doing this, we have empowered communities, like especially women and girls. So this has improved their livelihood as well, and improved the health and hygiene in the communities and in schools. This is mainly constructed in Sri Lanka, like with the support from our Lanka Rainwater Harvesting Forum. We constructed these. We are constructing now these tanks in Nepal as well. You can see women like around the tank. They're more interested in how this technology like works. So since it's a Women's Day, I wanted to share this video, but we are not able to like.
Yes, and happy Women's Day to all of you, and may all of you have more strength to continue the good work. We discussed quite a number of things about how water is important, the different social and economic issues there, and the changes that could be brought as when water is provided, safe water is provided to women, the changes that we could see, and the importance of water, making women water literate. It changes a family, changes a community. So thank you for joining. There is a lot more to be discussed, maybe in another program. So thank you for all the wonderful work, the women leaders who are here for their observations. Because they are women, they were able to observe the subtle changes in the lives of women across South Asia without access, with no access to water, and when there is water in their lives. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dhanushi. Thank you,
and
everybody.
happy Women's Day
It was
to all
really
of you.
Thank
nice
you.
Hear
to
you all.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Happy Women's Day.
Blessings.
Happy Women's
Bye-bye.
Day to all of you.
Continue.
And thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.